and welcome to Josef's Hi-Fi. And in this video, we're going to talk about the community. Yes, indeed. Just spent a moment here. I got some new records that we're cleaning at the moment, including a new album from The Chats. That's an Australian band, and I highly recommend you check out classics like Smoko and Pub Feed. Needless to say, we're not talking about cleaning records today, although I am disappointed one of them that arrived was bent. I'm sure we can talk about that in another day and our challenges we get with Discogs. But today we're talking about the community. And I really just want to take an opportunity, not necessarily for people I do follow on YouTube, but just to talk about key members of the community that aren't always to do with YouTube. And sometimes we miss parts about what makes it so special and why we all enjoy being part of this community, whether it's with the records, whether it's with hi-fi and audiophile stuff, or whatever it might be. So I just wanted to really a big appreciation and thank you to some key people that I'm sure you all follow as much as I do. I'm going to start this one off with Steve Guttenberg from the Audiophiliac. If you aren't aware of that channel or the Audiophiliac Daily Show, it's worth doing. Steve's just a really great, down-to-earth person that reviews a lot of hi-fi equipment in all price ranges. But it's his approach to it that just seems so relatable. You could just literally, he's the sort of person that everyone's just going to get along with. And he never really bags anything without some sort of constructive criticism. And there's a lot of direction I've taken from advice that he's given. And he also does keep it real as well. But what I truly like about it is he gets the opportunity to review some equipment that for the most part is not necessarily out of our price range, but it's always just interesting seeing new stuff that's coming out. And there's a lot of stuff I really have no interest in or buying, but I love to hear about it anyway. And we're never going to discover new stuff without people like that. So Steve also loves to share his followers' videos. So it's a great opportunity to see the system of the day, so to speak. He's hoping perhaps one day I'll make the cut and my hi-fi might be seen on his channel. Needless to say, he really does share and enjoy it. And I guess something else regarding his reviews and that, headphones. I'm not really someone that spends a lot of time enjoying the sonic sound using headphones per se, but I think that's the thing. He's really covering all bases, from amplifiers, speakers, to DACs, to headphones, and everything in between. I think that's the great thing. So much variety. And let's not forget about those incredible shirts that he wears. Some real beauties there. You never know what he's going to surprise us with next. Staying with hi-fi for just a minute, we'll go to Paul McGowan from PS Audio. Obviously, there's a series of YouTube videos you'll probably know. PS Audio makes some excellent high-end hi-fi equipment in Boulder, Colorado, United States. But some of you might not know that Paul, the founder, also has a daily section he puts on YouTube where he answers people's hi-fi questions, and some of them really are a good laugh, and there's some pretty insightful stuff as well. They're nice and short, generally less than 5 minutes, but just great to sort of open the eyes. And after following that for a couple of years, there are just so many questions, and that's what I love about it. Also his involvement with Octave Records, and there's just a rich tapestry there that goes with it, and a fantastic person who I really do enjoy watching. And someone who doesn't necessarily, the take-home thing is you need to go and buy thousands of dollars worth of PS Audio. It's not like that. It's just literally just an open interpretation. And of course, Paul's written a book as well that I highly recommend you check out. Melinda Murphy. I'm sure some of you know this person, the smiley-faced, blonde hair, who comes in and talks about her records and is always just great fun to watch. What I really like about the videos is that she really has a passion for the audio, and at the end of the day, even in a recent video where she's sharing ideas about purchasing a turntable, any more than me, there's the dream of what we'd like to own, and then she's also in pursuit of a range of options which are in a price budget that suits her. And I think that's really good. She is chasing excellent records, and playing them on a great system, but realistic, where it's very approachable and people can come in on that. They can, for a few dollars, some records, a turntable, and the journey begins. And I really like that. It seems so approachable, and watching her journey has sort of stepped through and really fantastic stuff. But here's a key thing about the community, and I really want to make clear, specifically with Melinda and her videos, which some of you might have missed. I'm not talking about the records. You may well notice that she has a jukebox. Now, what I love about this, for all of us, we all have a passion in audio and the rest, but where some of these people just take it to another level, any more than me, who really didn't need that great big antenna mast that I've constructed for my hi-fi, some of us just sort of are taking it just to places that need special love and attention. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because of this jukebox. Now, of course, it's a magnificent piece, and anyone that loves music is going to love it. But what I also know that goes with it, particularly for where I live, I'm not in a major capital city. Now, I'd love to own the AC/DC pinball machine, the version that actually shipped with a 12-inch subwoofer in it. But even though it seems a reasonably achievable sort of thing to dream for, it's getting it serviced. We don't really have a lot of service agents out here for that sort of stuff. So when you have things with moving parts, it needs attention. Now, I'm sure that Melinda's had to do her homework, not just when she got the machine, but when it needs servicing and maintaining. She's got to do the legwork to find this, to keep this thing going. And that's what I love about these people with a passion. It's what you don't see and their commitment to making the end result. Speaking of an end result, let us not forget Mike from In the Groove Record, Phoenix, Arizona. Always talking about the records, but also he does the videos on his own personal system where he'll literally take looking for the best copy of something, whether it's an album of perhaps it was Led Zeppelin album, Steely Dan, what have you. He'll literally take 20 versions, different pressings of that same album, and he'll go through them all. Now, what I really, really love about that is there's some albums, I can probably only think of about 3 or 4 that I could probably have the dedication to sit down and go through for 20 non-stop times of listening. It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of time. Let's be honest. It's time, it's wear and tear on the equipment and the rest. So you really want to make sure it's going to be an album you do truthfully enjoy. And I think that comes across. It also helped me in a situation which you're going to see in a video coming up a little later, that I'm going to demonstrate part of his hard work he did in a different way. So look forward to seeing that one very soon. But I really appreciate someone's out there doing the work for us to say, look, if you really want to hear this album and you love it the best, here's the version you want to pick up. And I've dealt with these people before, and they've been nothing but a class act. Just for a second, and only slightly going off here, has to be Techmoan. Those of you that haven't seen a Techmoan video, while he is an enthusiast of hi-fi, and that goes without saying in a lot of his earlier videos, he does just like general electronics and tech, pulling them apart and getting them going. It's very nostalgic and it's great fun and very good. In fact, one of my favorite videos, which absolutely has nothing to do with hi-fi, has got to be on his electronic chess game, Losing to a Ghost. Absolutely hilarious stuff, and great to see how all these things come together. But the production value is really, really tight and great stuff. And even though it's still hi-fi and is pursuit in boomboxes and all the rest, it's very entertaining, and someone that, of course, a lot of these people will have things like Patreons and things that will be able to donate money. Again, I'm really not about that at all. I just really think it's good that we're all sort of in the same world together, sharing and watching each other's dedication to this. Along with me, Techmoan also shares his passion for VU meters, and certainly has a range of exciting VU meters that he comes across, and I really do enjoy seeing that. Now I need to make special mention to Dave Rat from Rat Sound. Dave is an absolute oracle, I guess, when it comes to live sound and all the rest of it. Obviously, he's been front of house for groups like the Chili Peppers and the alike for years. but does these little videos to help other people who are doing live sound and things like that. And again, obviously because we do stuff like that, obviously I've got a vested interest in that. But of course it's interesting where he's just done a series on in-ear monitors and stuff like that. I mean, there's still crossover to the hi-fi world. We all want good sound, but it's also practical demonstrations as well. One of the best I truly do love has to be with the influence you get from atmospheric temperatures. For example, live sound outside and how the temperature quickly alters the sound of the sound coming from front of house. A great example is where he'll light up a few candles and have the sound playing and then move it, and you'll hear the bend from the noise of how the sound waves get to your ears, because now they've got to pass through this warmer air that's going to happen. And really, really good. So David Ratt, just a true gentleman, and just has devoted his life to sound, and I really love seeing those videos. Now I come to someone who's coming from a completely different angle, and that's got to be Davo. That's Dave Owen from Rebel FM. That's the rock station we hear here in Australia, particularly here in Queensland. Davo is just such a brilliant DJ to have on a radio station, with a rock station, and like so any other station, obviously you can sometimes get into a bit of a same sort of stuff. And of course in the peak and popular times, it is what it is. When Davo gets onto the airwaves, any more than Tom Petty would say, the last great DJ, it's got to be Davo. When he jumps on the airwaves, he is mixing up that music beautifully, bringing in some stuff we've truly forgotten. The isolation booth, where they'll take key instruments or vocalists and strip it down so we just hear that and the intricacy in it. He absolutely loves music, rock music without question. But the other thing we need to say about him, not just about being this absolute superstar that we need on the airwaves who's really keeping it real, is his devotion to Australian rock. Because it's all good hearing the same thing, but how are we ever going to hear new stuff? And he runs his own also show separate to his regular stuff called Homebrew, where it's all about the up and coming local Australian talent, of course sharing some of the classic Australian rock as well. But I really think we need that. And take my hat off to someone else, which of course in Australia, a local celebrity, Molly Meldrum. For those of you from Australia will certainly know about Molly, always pushing the Australian music, and was the host of Countdown, the music video show in the 70s in Australia here, and really, really part of pop culture, it goes without saying. But Davo really, just because obviously I am a big fan of rock and hard rock, really just ticks all the right boxes. And he's in there, and it's a hard gig. I know what it's like. I do DJ, and often that you turn up to an event or whatever it is, the guests know what they want to hear, and they're paying you to play basically what they want. But what's really nice when Davo gets on the airwaves is, while I'm sure there's obligations to advertisers and anything else that happen on radio stations, is he really is keeping it just real and keeping it fresh. So it just always, no two shows could ever be the same. And of course, let us not forget the founders of AC/DC Day. It's been a few years now, and it seems to be a tradition that's going to be burning for a long time yet. So thanks to Davo and the team from Rebel, there's no doubt about it. It's been absolutely wonderful in the previous years of having nothing but 24 hours of AC/DC on the radio. And like all good things, if only we could go back in time. But for the minute, let us enjoy this magnificent community that we have from all of these key people. Of course, me. What a great asset to the community we are, sharing all this stuff. That's all I've got to really say in this video at the moment. I'm going to get back to finish cleaning these records, and we'll see you on the next video. I've got some real good surprises coming up. One of them sitting behind me, and I'm going to need maybe a few different camera angles to make this happen. So might be a slight delay in the next few videos. That's only because I'm not quite sure how this one's going to work. We'll see you soon. Party on. Toodles.